Welcome to episode 22
or 21 part 2
of Our Sour.
Can you taste it?
On can you
Google
what? Let me go into that because we didn't go into that because I ADHD'd everything. I'm done with Can You Taste It?
Oh,
the problem that I was facing, that I've decided on, was that I'm going to have surgery, a special surgery, where I'm going to cut myself in half. Basically,
bigger boobs.
Yeah, imagine that. Like, you could lose what you have, but put it wherever you want. I'd have like this.
You know what?
Dick.
Just get a bra that just like pushes it all up.
That's what they do. That's what bras are made for.
No,
Yeah.
I've seen a bra.
That's
before,
how women work.
and I know that's not what it does.
Have you seen a bra before?
Have I worn a bra before?
Probably.
I can
You dance around for your wife.
You can understand why women, like on a hot day, would be
Irritating.
much more annoyed than a man, because we're like fuck it, I'll just free ball it today, just wear no underpants. But it's not like a woman could do that, especially women with like bigger chests. So
Well, they can.
yeah, but we would enjoy it, but they wouldn't enjoy it, right? Because it'd be heavy and kind of their nerves.
The
and
problem
boob
with
sweat.
that, that's where I was going to go. Boobs, sweat, and rash.
Yeah. So here's to women.
Here's to women.
Being better
Happy
than
Mother's
men.
Day. Yeah. Welcome to Our Sour, episode 22. I already said that.
21 part 2.
That too. We decided to do another episode because we still have a lot more to talk about, and we like to stick to an hour programming, so we have a long time to talk about the rest of the stuff. How about that?
I don't
all
know
my words in. I did it really
anyone who would watch. If you finish all of this, I know that somebody did say on one of our YouTube comments that I'm an asshole, which I hear every day. But
the people here say that.
Anyone who watches to the end of this, please send us a note so we can give you a thumbs up and a, what do they call it? Call out? Hash out? Shout out. There's what I'm looking for. So we can give you a shout out to say, hey, user 619 watched to the end of it, and
I'll bring up a topic.
Kudos to you.
I'll bring up a related topic.
Oh.
In one of our TikToks that I put out there, you said,
go fuck yourself?
No, the black kid.
Which is funny because this show starts like a year after.
And it
in
is
the timeline.
And it is, they are, especially the black kid. He is very clearly, and
Puberty.
Will, they're trying as hard as they can to make Will look really young. That kid looks like he's 40.
Oh, I said the word the black kid.
You said the phrase the black kid.
What was it talking about?
The black kid.
From what? There's
The
a lot of black
kid
kids.
from Stranger Things, I think.
Okay, I do not remember his name.
And exactly. No, neither do I.
Is that Mike?
We
Will.
got. It's not Luther.
That's racist.
Why is that really racist? So Luther
Is an Idris Elba TV show. So you're saying because he's a black kid, his name's got to be Luther?
No, it's not my relation there.
Racism.
I was thinking about what's his name?
Oh, yeah. Okay,
Superman's rival,
Lex
Lex Luthor. He's white.
Because he's bald?
Why are you going to the? Because he likes
Racist
basketball
and ageist.
No, you said that, and one person's comment was like, "He said the black kid." Oh my goodness, like something like that. And I'm just like, I'll keep it for the show, but
This is the fucking
no,
show.
at the time I didn't bother to do comments. It's like,
I thought you were saying just now, I'll hold it for the show.
if the show was all black people, I'm allowed to say that. Okay, if the show was all black people and there was one white kid, you would say the white kid if you didn't remember the person's name.
Mm-hmm.
There was nothing bad said there. He didn't say that N person. He didn't say that whatever derogatory words you could say about.
Yep. But in that person's defense, I will say, in that person's defense, we now exist in a culture where you are terrified of upsetting people because you don't want anybody to ever insinuate that you might be racist, might be sexist, might be something.
True.
So this person was maybe like, I'm
going to jump on that bandwagon.
Yeah, I'm going to jump at the bit like,
I'll be the woke one.
Imagine that that guy or girl, whoever it was probably like, I'll never refer to someone as the black guy. Maybe I'll be like the colored guy.
The difference is if you know for a fact This kid's name is Josh.
Mhm.
Okay? And you are still saying the black kid. Yes. Then it's racist. But
I think if you're using it derogatorily, then absolutely.
yeah,
but-
that implies a derogatory manner.
Yep.
But your way of doing it was not. You just didn't remember his
Okay.
name, and he was the only one there that was black. So that was the description based off of the situation.
One thing that I find is comical, especially when we're talking about like races.
Should have just said the basketball kid.
That's racist. Then they think you're talking about Pamela Anderson.
Oh, because black people are supposed to be great at basketball, right?
Why, are you good at basketball?
Yes.
No, you're not.
No.
You're shaped like a basketball. But see where I was going with that joke? God damn it, I got right in there.
I wanted to play up to it and go, but it was funny.
But my point is, when I watch that show, there's you can say hairdo, D&D guy, ugly girl,
Black.
and you can but what's funny is that's the one.
Why
where
does it
everyone
have to
hears.
be about race?
Black kid? They don't hear me say hairdo. They don't hear me say D&D kid.
Because
They
that's
don't.
not about race.
But isn't it equally? What if I said, okay, ginger kid, the
But
girl,
not-
ginger
but-
kid?
But exactly. I agree.
What are you agreeing with?
That like it's
She's a
silly.
ginger?
Like yeah, I wasn't certain. She might be from France. Can't be ginger from France.
You can't.
Gingers
Learning so much on this
are
show.
Irish. Every single one.
No, they aren't.
This is our show.
Oh,
So I wanted to bring that up
watch and subscribe.
so that more people could comment to you.
Wow. So I'm sorry if you think I'm racist. I don't think I am.
He's not. No.
I'm pretty sure I'm not.
We're at this point
The
where
porno that I watch would greatly insinuate that I'm not. We'll just leave it at that.
we're at this point where we've gone through a point of you can't say black. Remember? Like, there was this whole thing is okay, everything is African American.
Yep.
All right.
Except for non-American.
And then it's become, why the hell are you calling us African American?
Mhm.
Well, a lot of us aren't from Africa. Like, we were born here. Like,
But my favorite, and I'll never forget it, man, because it sums up how everyone should feel about race perfectly. So Morgan Freeman, he's having a discussion, and I do not remember the newscaster's name or the interviewer type of thing. And the guy says to him, he says to Morgan Freeman, "You don't like Black History Month?" Morgan Freeman goes, "No, I don't." He goes, "Why not? Why do we need a Black History Month? Black history is American history. Why do we need do you need a White History Month?"
Should be. But the reason...
But he says, "Do you need a White History Month?" He goes, "Well, I'm Jewish." Okay. "Do you need a Jewish History Month?" And the guy says, "No." He goes, "I don't need a black..." He goes, "How about we just exist as you're a Jewish man and I'm a black man, and that's it."
But that's
There's
broaching
nothing...
the subject of getting the word out. What do you call that? Like for like pride or something, like you put the pride banner on your profile and and that's like you're not doing it, you're not doing anything, but you are getting the word out that people should support these types of things.
Okay,
So
but
that's the same thing. It's like Black History Month is just like a support Black history, get the word out so that people know there is a Black history. There's a predominant Black history that is whitewashed a lot.
right, but in my opinion, and I don't necessarily agree with what he said, but I really like and support what I feel is behind it. Maybe I'm totally fucking misunderstanding what he meant. What he meant was, if we teach American history, and you include what happened to black people that came along, that's part of American history.
I agree.
You don't need black history if you're teaching all of American history. Like, we don't need an Indigenous Day or, what we have in Canada, stuff like that, if we're teaching the truth to kids about what happened to Indigenous people in Canada.
I
right?
totally agree with that point. But the problem is for so long it's been white history.
Mhm.
So the fact of the matter is it needs to come out and there needs to be a focus on these things that were buried.
I guess I just don't see a problem with saying that guy's black, that guy's Chinese, that girl's Indian,
Yeah.
I'm white.
Yeah.
I'm happy that,
But you're not doing it in a derogatory manner.
but I'm happy that I feel
You're not profiling.
that the majority of people feel like that. I don't feel like there's anybody that when I go, oh yeah, he's the black dude, they're not like, oh, like, you know.
But there are so many people, because
You think?
most
Really?
of
Wow.
it is not how they feel about it. Like, they're not going, oh, he said he must be racist. No, they're going, oh, I have to react this way,
Yeah.
or I will be looked at as what I feel like other people are looking at him like.
I'm gonna kill that
So
fly.
if other people are thinking, if I think other people are thinking you're being racist by saying that, if I don't react like they're reacting, what if they look at me next?
Oh, I think you're just a
Yeah.
what's the word? Enabler. Well, I'm sorry if you think I'm racist. I'm not. But if you do think I'm racist, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
That's one thing that I absolutely support with my kids and how I raise my kids is if someone disagree, and this is one of the hardest lessons to learn. Even my wife has a lot of trouble with this. And for anyone that has trouble with this, please pay attention. If you don't pay attention to anything I've ever said in my entire worthless life, pay attention to this.
I just sit here and don't pay attention.
You're just fucking off in space.
What? Squirrel.
If someone dislikes you or disagrees with you or doesn't like the way that you do something or doesn't like something about you,
We do a podcast, so
It
this happens all the
is-
time.
it is perfectly okay. There is nothing wrong with,
Yeah.
and you should feel absolutely okay with yourself to just put both fingers up and go, fuck you. That's fine. You don't like me? Go fuck yourself. You don't need to like me. As long as I like me, you can go fuck off.
You're allowed your own opinion.
There are so many people that, oh my God, Phil doesn't like me? Well, that's what can I do different to get Phil to like me? Fuck what Phil thinks. If Phil doesn't like you for you,
What do I matter?
fuck him. You know what I mean? And I wish, and I try to get my kids to understand this as they grow up, that don't
That's
fit
hard,
anyone.
though.
It is. It's the hardest lesson you can learn as a human being, because my wife still has trouble with it. You don't need to fit any mold that anyone wants you to be, ever. You need to be happy being you. You need to grow your own opinions. You need to fight for what you believe in. And if someone else disagrees with it, fuck them. There's always time to learn. You can always learn. There's never be so narcissistic and so arrogant that you can't learn from other people. But if someone says, no, you're wrong, there is a God, atheism is bullshit, you can go, fuck you. Atheism is for me. Great that you have your religion, but go fuck yourself with it. I want nothing to do with it. Don't try to sell it to me. Don't try to fucking preach it to me. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
That's
the whole abortion thing.
I wish more people would do that.
Abortion?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Did you hear?
This-
Oh, no, I don't want to talk about it.
If there's no
It'll just
abortion,
incense
we're
me.
going to have a lot of stupid people out there. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Like, I find it funny that politicians, and I know it's because of backers that they have to be like this. Oh, I'm against abortion. Blah,
Obviously,
blah, blah.
that sounds like a racist term.
No,
You know, all those backers.
no.
You know what? That's the ageist term for old white dudes who our backs are killing us. Those backers.
So me. No, I forgot what I was going to say.
Probably that
Abortion is.
Prince Zizor has fallen over in the Star Wars cabinet, and I'm terrified to open that cabinet because I'm worried that everything is going to fall out. So he's just going to have to sit there like that for the rest of his life.
I'm going to say one more thing about abortion. No one wants it. Nobody wants to have it. No one's going,
I would disagree.
Woohoo, abortion.
I would disagree.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Why would you think
I
that?
was
Who?
great friends with a guy in high school whose girlfriend, after he and her broke up, she effectively used Plan B and abortion as birth control. So
Okay, but it's not something you want to do. It's not something
Okay.
where she's like, oh, next
Yeah.
Friday I'm gonna hope for this. I hope I'm pregnant so I can have an abortion.
but she would be like, if I'm pregnant, big deal, let's get it aborted.
yeah,
Which-
but that's different. That's
yeah,
completely
that's a good
different.
point. That's a good
Like,
point.
and I agree with that. Like, to a degree. I don't see. I was talking to my wife about this, and I was saying, I agree with abortion. Okay, there are
Why did it
lots
become such a political show?
because
Thanks, Phil.
That's life. If you're hiding from politics, you're hiding from life. I'm sorry, politics are out there. I used to not want to see the news and all that, and then
Don't ruin the
started
fucking
watching
ghost.
it, and I'm more into this stuff. And okay, anyway,
All right, you know what we really need to talk about? Phil believes that ghosts are real. All right.
I think ghosts should be aborted, especially the baby.
Like Casper. Oh, we're going to hell.
Casper's too old to be aborted. We're going. Oh.
Man alive. We're going to get thrown off. They're not just going to cancel us off
You know-
YouTube. They're going to fucking throw us off YouTube.
If abortion was 100% like you could do it at any time, we should totally kill Trump and just blame it on abortion. And that would be another reason to get it like legalized everywhere.
You know what's really amazing is how is the thing that's going to get us thrown off YouTube something that you said and not something that I said? That's the real fucking
YouTube
surprise here.
algorithms going crazy on every time we say abortion. Wait, let me make it easy for YouTube. Abortion.
But we're talking about
Aborting the show.
abortions.
Yeah.
Abort shins. So nobody should have shins anymore.
I think there is a science behind ghosts.
There is no fucking science.
And
You know what it
I
is?
think we don't
it's
know what
old.
it is.
It's old fucking people that want to think that something
No,
happens
Those
after
old
life.
people die and they become the ghost.
Oh my god. Ghosts.
You know what'd be great if we had a ghost show and you were like the hugely skeptic person that would just be
fuck.
like, I hate this show. And I
I'm
was
just getting up and wandering away sometimes.
but I wouldn't be
And they
like
come by and go, "Woo."
I wouldn't be the crazy like everything's a ghost person because I'm super like let's make sure that this isn't a ghost. You know, like let's prove like I'm a skeptic to a point.
Okay.
Because I,
See, when
I
you come
want
in
ghosts to be real.
and you say to me, Rob, let's make sure this isn't a ghost. I'll go, I can 100% tell you it is not a ghost.
If you would like to fund a ghost show for us to do, please contact us.
Ghosts are not real at gmail.com.
No, at what? Watching complain.
Watch and complain. Ghosts
That way it
are
goes to
not
me.
real. Oh, shit. And if we don't answer you, then you've been
Aborted. Is that where you're going?
ghosted.
Oh, sorry.
Fucking aborted. Yeah, you had abortion on the brain.
Wow, we're in trouble. All right, so we did a second show this week because we wanted to talk about
I forget.
Captain Marvel. No,
No, it was after Captain Marvel.
I was waiting for you to cringe on that one. Let's go into For All
I
Mankind.
don't understand what that means. Everybody says the word cringe, and I don't get it.
I'm trying to explain it. Like, look it up on your phone.
But when someone says that's so
Hold on.
cringe,
Hey,
what are you supposed to do?
Hey Siri, define cringe. Did you get that?
She is fucking listening.
What does
According to
cringe mean?
Urban Dictionary, there is a difference in meaning. Cringy, I'll just wait. Cringy is something that makes you recoil with disgust. Something that makes you very uncomfortable. Something that feels
Yeah,
wrong.
yeah,
Okay. Because when someone's like, isn't that cringe? I'm like, what are you talking about? Is what cringe? You know, that thing. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. Cringy motherfucker.
Let's go into For All Mankind.
Ooh, I'm enjoying For All Mankind, man. I just watched the third show, I believe.
Oh, yes.
And it is, again, so
So good.
I got spoiled. I watched
Oh.
Better Call Saul, and Better Call Saul season 6 is spectacular. And then, you know, Better Call Saul went on hiatus. So I started watching The Boys. And I'm like, oh, god
So good,
damn, this
yeah.
is so good. And then it got into season 3 of For All Mankind. And season 3 of For All
So
Mankind
much better.
starts with a wonderful bang. It
Mm-hmm.
just rocks.
I just find it funny that it does link to the story, but it was kind of like, it's like a one-off. They could have done
really?
this as like a separate thing to release to like
Yep.
show off the show. They should have made that a movie.
I just it's so smart, and The characters are so well fleshed out. It is a really, really well done show.
For those who haven't seen it,
You should.
explain what happened in that.
In the first show?
Yeah,
The first show, so
just quick.
I believe I'm not Sue. What's his wife's name? Is it Susan?
Doesn't matter.
Ed's So
Yes, yeah.
Ed has divorced
Ed's
from
wife.
his wife. He's divorced from her. She's got married to a guy named Sam, I believe, and they started the very first orbiting hotel
yeah.
in space. And they were having Danny, who was Gordo, and his wife's son, their oldest son.
Yeah, all the characters that are left.
Yep, are who are still alive. Yep, he's getting married, and effectively what happens is there's a North Korean satellite that gets shot or somehow destroyed, and debris from that smacks into it, breaks one of the things that keep it spinning in its regular G-force, and starts to go into overdrive. So it starts like pushing. The G-force starts to increase.
So the G-force is for this thing. It spins.
Yep.
And so that it's happened in other movies.
Mhm.
So that you get a gravity, a simulated
Yep.
gravity, artificial gravity.
Artificial gravity.
So what he was saying is one of them got hit, one of the motors, or one of the rockets.
That's exactly what I said. Why are you re-explaining what I just exactly
I was
said?
waiting for you to take over at that point because
So I've already said this.
Yeah, but
you're going to repeat it
you didn't explain why it's
because
spinning.
people should fucking know.
They should watch.
But so what basically happens is then the son, Gordo, and I always forget his wife's name, but she was white, so Gordo and White Girl, their son. Basically, what's happening is like
White
there's a
people are
bunch
gonna
of
come
stuff
after you.
starting to break down, and because of the gravity, that's the G-force is just getting too strong, so it's going to spin and
They're
spin and
getting
spin and just
pushed
break
down,
apart.
yeah.
And what's great, what I really loved about it, and I tried to get my son to watch it, but because it's science that doesn't have lasers and Marvel and insane shit flying around, he was like, this is boring. Because it's real fucking science where this girl goes to throw a shoe at Ed, and it just goes, boop, and just goes right to the guy, and it's like, that's fucked up.
Or the cake.
Yeah, the cake, the
Squishing
little
down.
head starts to push it. Like, it's such a good show, and then this guy has to go out to be able to hit this booster so it can slow itself down. It was, without spoiling it, it's just such a scientifically accurate, but taking the history of the world and kind of flipping that around, where the Russians were first to the moon in the space race. We're now on our way to Mars in 1984 is when they're going to launch to Mars.
And now three entities are racing to the Mars. Yeah.
Yep. So there's NASA, the Soviets, and this company called Helios.
Corporate, and that's obviously
Like SpaceX and Tesla and stuff like that. But what's great is it's like the president, the girl who became president, she goes up against like Bill Clinton in '84,
which was very cool.
and it's really cool and they take like a debate with her, obviously, put in there, and then they're changing the mouth movement of Bill Clinton, and they have somebody speaking like Bill Clinton. Like it's just so.
I think it was actual footage.
Oh, it was him, but they were changing the mouth for him to say what he did. But it's really, really impressively done, and it's a good story, and I find it
I love when they
impossible
do that
not to enjoy it. It's so well done.
Yeah, if you haven't seen any of it, like this is like Game of Thrones level where go start from the starting and like it's so good. And
'Cause
you got the drama if you're into that too.
Yeah.
Like it's got everything.
And it's got the for me, one of the best things about it, and similar to The Boys, much more similar to Better Call Saul, is if you start from the start, you really care about these characters. Like they're again, we're talking about The Boys, they're flawed. They make decisions that you're like, God damn it, don't do that. But of course they have to do that because it's their human nature.
There's some, well, kind of like The Boys. There's some off the wall stuff that like would happen in real life. Probably not, but it's like this is a different situation. This is like things are happening, and then like other thing. It's kind of like the butterfly effect, where like something happened and it changed history in so many ways.
But also, what I do like to is, on that same note, that's what space is. One little tiny miscalculation can result in a whole ton of shit going wrong.
Yeah, it changes the future.
Yeah, and that's really what the show's about, and it's just great. The one thing I do hope that the show does is announce that they're going to be ending after maybe season 4 or 5, because I feel like this is the type of show that if you let it go on too long, it's going to catch up to where we are right now, and then you're going to be like, I don't like seeing what could be.
I get that thought process, because I was feeling that way about this season, but then when you get into it, you're into it.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. But I don't want to see where that 1984. I don't want to see that 1984 in 2022. You know what I mean?
You don't think they're going to go futuristic? Because they already are.
Well, they're not
they're
futuristic.
past where we are.
Right, but they're past where we are because of the
things that
mistakes
have
that they didn't make.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But no, I love a show that is focused and knows when begins with its end in mind, knows where it's going to end. And this is why I love shows like Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad.
I don't think they know where they're going to end. I think they have ideas.
I hope they do. But we'll see. But as it is right now, it's great. Hopefully it doesn't turn into something like Lost that has 2.5 amazing seasons and then just shits the bed.
Yeah, they just get lazy and they don't even write the last few seasons.
They
just keep everyone questioning everything.
Game of Thrones really has taken the mantle from Lost as
the last season.
How do you shit the bed?
But Lost was different because they had people hanging on. Okay, Walking Dead would be one of those things that you're talking about.
Yeah.
Because right now they're just coasting until they get canceled.
Well, and they're like the first half of the trilogy of the last season.
Are they done? I don't even know.
It's still going. I see it on Reddit or Instagram. Like, we're into the first half of the trilogy of the third. Like, dude, just end already. You know, and that's true that Game of Thrones, it was just that last season that fell the fuck apart. But with Lost, season 4, you know, they leave the island, you're like, what? And then season 5, they're all back home and it's time travel. You're like, what? And then season 6, they're all dead. And you're like, what? Like, all of those last seasons of Lost, I think there's 7 seasons that show went for, were just a shit show.
This happened to Sliders. One of my favorite
You
show
and
of
your
all
Sliders.
time. Once you start with
Clearly you
the
like
Cro-Mags,
Sliders.
The Cro-Mags ended it for them.
Clearly you like Sliders.
I'm going to make
How
you
come
watch
no one
Sliders.
ever fucking says how mean I am to you? No one ever brings that up.
They like it.
Probably.
They're like, I hate Phil.
Yeah, fucking say it more, say it more. They're like the guys at Top Gun. Oh, yeah. Oh, insult him.
I love the bravado.
Cover Phil in your bravado.
We're going to talk more about The Boys, season 3, in a future episode when it's
when
over.
it ends.
Yeah, we'll probably bring it up next episode 2.
You know what? I
As
gotta
well.
admit that if you had to choose a guy to have a man crush on
If you had to choose, how many?
from this season of The Boys, would you go the Butcher route?
Oh my
or would
goodness.
you go the Homelander route?
Okay, is this just like purely like would I have to be with this person in a relationship, or am I just is this just a dude to fuck?
A dude to what?
Fuck.
Fuck. I thought you said like something
I'm
else.
just saying. There's a difference. It's like who do you want to be like? Who do you have a crush on?
Like who?
A female celebrity, but who would you actually want to be with? Is
I
two
think
different
okay.
things.
Who would you want to be with, and like sexually? So who would you want to fuck? But
This is what dudes do because
taking
we
into
have
consideration,
pent up gay energy.
would you rather get fucked by or fuck them? Because if it was up to me,
Butcher.
I would. Yeah, for me, it's absolutely Homelander. I would
Really?
way rather fuck Homelander. I brought this up to
Wow.
gay friends of mine.
What?
Facial hair on a guy, I could not do anything with a guy with facial hair. There was something about it that
There's
does
so
not
many
work.
gay men that are like the bears.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah, facial hair just 100%. I can't. I don't know why, and I can't say why. I just don't like it. But Homelander, how he's perfectly clean shaven all the time, that does it for me.
my wife is really into facial hair. I can't grow it. I get this weird.
You should
stubble.
get the what is it what the hell is it? The Instagram thing, grow a
Paint.
full beard in 6 weeks. Have you seen that thing?
I don't want to tease myself. It'd be
I
like what I've
tease
tried to
myself.
do with this bald energy up here.
Yeah, this thing, my face grows in super patchy. This thing grows in, thankfully, but no, the rest of it
You're
doesn't.
lucky. I would look
You're
good.
lucky.
I would look good with a
Hair.
proper. Like,
Should wear a wig.
no, it's definitely Butcher.
No, not for
He's,
me.
he's an attractive dude.
Nope.
But I
that
wouldn't
hair
want to be
doesn't work
with
for
him.
me. No, that hair doesn't work for me.
I wouldn't want to be with him. I think Huey would be like the person you'd want to be with.
Yeah,
'cause
Huey's the guy you'd
he
want to
cares,
cuddle and
yeah.
love. Yep. But see, I think Huey is
Not
is,
while he's got under the influence of the superpower situation.
but he is getting
He's a
nude
dick.
when he's doing the superpowers. Remember?
Yeah.
So on the next episode of WatchingGayComplain.com,
This is why we don't care when it comes to like talking about this kind of stuff, because we're happy with what
you can
we
say
have.
the gay guy, but don't say the black gay guy, because then I'm fucking super in
No,
trouble.
that gay guy. It's how you say it, Rob. It's how you
Oh,
say
it's
it.
true.
The unbearable weight of massive talent.
I enjoyed it.
We went together.
That's right.
How long
did we?
ago was it?
No, we didn't.
This is finally it. Yes. No, we didn't.
Fuck.
You know what I'm thinking of? I'm thinking of that other movie.
Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yeah.
You know what? I enjoyed
I'm glad I
Unbearable
didn't
Weight of
start
Massive
talking about the
Talent
movie.
until I didn't. It was and I was like, this is fun. I'm having a ball.
You know, yeah. That
And then it hits a point where it turns into like an action Nicolas Cage movie, and I'm like, oh.
it turns into like, okay, we've seen it. Like,
Well,
we've already seen what we wanted to see in this movie.
yeah, exactly.
And there's nothing more to it. It's just the same stuff, and it's just two guys that are obviously have sexual tension.
But it also turns into, oh, I was the one that kidnapped your wife and family, and I'm going to blah, blah, blah. And that whole part, I'm like, I'm bored with that. I've seen this before. I like the part where he's like talking to his younger version of himself,
Yeah.
and Pedro Pascal has a super big man crush on him, but doesn't want him to know. Like, that whole part was so much fun. And then once it gets to the
cringy.
fucking, I'll get that fly when it comes back.
This is their show.
Zelda, how come you can't catch the fly?
Yeah. What are you trained to do?
Look at her leaving. She's like, fuck you guys.
Reminds me of my wife. Not because it's a dog.
Man, you're in the dog house now. You're in trouble with your wife now.
So yeah, it's cringy.
Yep, that's right. I felt complete disgust. I know what it means now. But no, yeah, I was enjoying it, and then there really hits a part where it turns into like an action movie, and I was like, nah. Anyway, but I did like it. It's a little off the rails at the start, and I was having a ball when
I
it was
like
off the
him
rails.
playing himself.
Yeah, it was
but
great.
it's like a wrestling version of himself. You know, like
Yeah.
it's just like up a notch, up a lot of notches.
Yeah, I really.
I
Enjoyed
wonder
that at the
how
start.
much of that is real in terms of like, is he so into his own career that he neglected his family for a good point of time?
I don't think so.
Could be.
It could be, but I don't think so. I feel like this was like
I feel like Nicolas
caricature of
Cage at this
himself.
point is very real with himself,
Yeah.
and he's like Jim Carrey.
Every time I see it, I'm ready to grab it.
He's like Jim Carrey, where it's like, now I can be very real about everything about myself, about everyone else.
Yeah, Jim Carrey said he wants to quit. He might retire, after Sonic, whatever.
After Sonic, he's just
He's
there's
done
nothing
everything
more
he
for
wants
him to do.
Yep.
So this movie,
I just fucking said about it.
what would you give it out of 10?
Oh man, I would give it. You know what? I'd have to give it. It was original. I'll give it that until it wasn't. So I'd say probably a 7.5 out of 10. The parts I enjoyed, I super enjoyed, but
Would you watch it again?
I watched the start again.
That's
I'd watch about the first hour,
Yeah.
and then I turned.
The rest was
'Cause I know how it
you could
ends.
fall asleep during that. Yeah,
I probably would.
probably did.
I'll never tell.
I would give it a 6 out of 10. I thought it was it was kind of like one of those things where it was like, what a great gimmick, and then
And then it falls apart.
an hour through it, you're like, okay, this is still on.
Yeah, but I did enjoy it.
It was all right.
Riveting
I have a question
and
for you.
ponderous.
I have a question for you. What movie / TV series, digital or
Slash-
physical,
Web series
have you bought
/ docu-series.
that you actually bought, but you could find by doing other things, but you chose to buy them?
The first,
And obviously in 4K, right?
yeah, I say the first three, but there only was three. So
This leads into my next question.
I think it was Paramount put out the 3 seasons of the original Star Trek with updated special effects.
Oh, I have something to say about that.
And I bought those because The updated special effects look so good, and they really seamlessly go into it. Like,
Is that version on Netflix?
no,
do
the
you
version
know?
no, the version that's on Netflix is the original special effects.
Okay, because it looks good.
Yeah, because it was remastered, right? But like,
So there's new. So they did a Star Wars version of Star Trek. Is that what you're saying?
like it,
Like the
The
special
special
editions?
yes, but it doesn't look
Because they're like
as
little
glaringly
characters in
ugly.
the corner.
The Enterprise looks much better. Like the overhead shots of the Enterprise when it goes over, it looks good. They're on. I can't remember the episode. It's not the cage. It's the one where Kirk fights the Gorn. I always forget the name of the episode.
Oh, it's not the first. Yeah,
No, where they like there's a battleground behind them and it's a massive battleground. Like
I know what you're talking about.
It's small improvements but really noticeable. Also, the remaster looks great.
You're gonna freak out, I think. Okay, good. So that's it.
I'll just hold that. That'll be the stuff of the
I'll just put it
episode.
on the green screen. No, so I've never really given the original series a go.
I hear that from so many
I'm
people.
so into sci-fi, and so into Star Trek. Everything.
Yeah, you're into new Star Trek. New Star Trek
No,
is junk.
I like The Next Generation a lot.
Yeah.
I like Voyager. I hated Deep Space Nine. I'll say it.
Fuck. Sorry, I thought I caught it. I was listening. You said that you liked Deep Space Nine for the black guy.
No. That's the reason I hate it.
It's a joke now. Yeah, fuck.
No,
Now we're getting
I hate
canceled.
it because it's just
I think a lot of people didn't like Deep
didn't
Space
go
Nine.
anywhere.
Well, a lot of people didn't like Deep Space Nine because it was
It's contained.
a bit out there. It was different than Next Generation and Voyager. Even Voyager started to veer a little bit different, and the Deep Space Nine went way too different from people.
Enterprise did a
And
lot
Enterprise,
of veering.
yeah.
I love Enterprise. It's one of my favorites.
Yeah, see, Enterprise is definitely on the bottom for me.
Really?
It was fine and it was well acted, which is one thing that was
Yes.
really good about it. But I don't know. I didn't get the same. It had the same Star Trek feel, but I didn't get the same Star Trek feel.
I
out
just
of it.
love how they did, like, okay, 7 of 9 was so popular in Voyager, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they had to do a 7 of 9 character, like the sexy side character of what's her face? She was
She was a Vulcan.
Vulcan, yeah, and yet she was good to look at. But
Oh man,
it's always the
orangutans.
the outfit. What
Like the skin tight spandex.
Yes, spandex. It's always the spandex for this Beta Z
Beta
Troy. Lieutenant Troy? Or
Yeah, she was a lieutenant. Yeah.
always in spandex. Like, even when the other officers were wearing, like, the pajama thing.
Uniform.
That was the original thing, wasn't it, in Star Trek? It was like they were
No,
all
they-
in pajamas or something.
No, when you watch the first Star Trek movie, holy moly, that's pajamas.
I'll finish this. Spandex is always the go-to for the sexy character, even when the other characters are
Nothing
wearing
wrong with
nothing
that.
else. I mean, not nothing else, but something else.
Nothing wrong with that.
Okay, but I watched episode 1 of Star Trek on
The original
Netflix.
series. Yep.
Okay,
Yeah, the
I gave it a
cage?
go. It was good.
Yep.
I was interested. I found it interesting that what's his name, the
Pike?
Captain Pike was in it. I didn't know because I've never really given it a go. I thought it was just what's his face for the first.
Kirk, yeah.
Kirk started it, but I had no idea that it was this other character. Is that like a pilot thing?
Yeah, that's what. And then the actual
'Cause they
show
talk
started
about
a year
it in the
later.
show.
Yep, and he wasn't available.
Right.
So that then they
They-
go back in the menagerie and they go back to because Pike was Spock's first captain.
And Pike says in the first show, "I'm thinking of retiring,"
Yep.
and I thought like that was their plan. Like, but we'll put Kirk on the second episode. Is that what ended up happening?
Yeah, effectively, yeah.
Because I haven't gotten to the second episode.
The second, I can't remember the second episode, but I believe the third episode is Charlie, which is an interesting one.
So,
Second episode is that guy who lives on the salt planet and his wife is a salt monster.
I found it really comical how they were acting like a military situation in terms of giving them paper everywhere.
Mhm.
I was like, paper?
In the future.
I just keep going. I find it interesting that they have that captain, and he's the captain that's currently in
Strange New Worlds.
Strange New Worlds. And it's like, that's going to connect. and it is connecting, and it's showing the connection already, and I'm just like, that is so interesting.
I do like Anson Mount in Strange New Worlds. I will say that so far, I've only watched 3 shows of it, but so far, Strange New Worlds is. I saw a great, and don't worry, this does come back around, but you know me, and I go on long tangents.
It's fine. That's what we do.
I saw a guy, or it was actually a girl putting on makeup with a guy's voiceover talking about why Star Trek. He said a woman came up to him, somewhere in a Star Trek shirt, and said, "Why Star Trek?" And he was like, when you look at all the shows, you think of Blade Runner, you think of Alien, you think of Soylent Green,
Sure.
you think of all these shows.
Movies.
It's all a dystopian future. It's all a future where everything is falling apart.
Yeah.
Star Trek,
For some reason, people love to see it.
they because everybody wants to see what this is
What
what
if?
70s sci-fi was all about. Yeah, it's about what if, what could happen, where will we go if we don't take care of ourselves.
Yeah.
Star Trek is the one show that said, you know what, we're going to figure it all out. We're all going to get along, and we're going to get past all of our what we see right now as the things that stop us from being a cohesive planet. We're going to get past that. Our future is a bright place.
We're going to show an example of what if it's all good.
Yep. And Star Trek did that. And it is the only show, when it started, the only show to do that. They had a multicultural cast. They had the first multi-race, or
the woman comment in the first episode, I was like, what?
what woman
He
comment?
goes,
There's
"Oh,
so many. So
he goes, I'm just not used to having a woman on the
bridge.
on the bridge. And then he goes to the other woman. Oh, I know. It was like, I don't. It's like I don't consider you a woman or something like, or I didn't.
But when you think
Like
of it,
what?
but he doesn't.
I know the time.
But I think honestly, parts of that were, I see, and that's what I like about Star Trek is your race, your gender doesn't matter. You're just a member of the crew, you know. And I feel like it was a show that said we're all different. We get that we're all different. We know we're all different, but we have a job to do. And I really, really liked, and my wife likes that about Next Generation. And my wife absolutely, and same with Leslie, absolutely prefers Next Generation. The reason I like the original series is it reminds me of when I was a kid, and I'll watch it. I'm not one of those guys that can recite the Star Trek episodes off my fucking head like I can do with Star Wars. But I do, oh yeah, I remember that. Oh yeah, I remember watching this. Because there's a playfulness to the original Star Trek, and the way that they would talk about real issues, but as science fiction, because that's what great science fiction does.
A little campy.
Yep.
Yeah.
But they would talk about real issues, like when you think of Frank Gorshin at the episode of black on one side of his face, white on the other, and the other guy, well, he's white on that side and black on one side. It's, again, everybody uses that example, but it's such a perfect example because it's like, well, that's what racism is. Like, that guy's black. Well, so? You're white. Yeah, so that means that I'm not black. Like, that makes no sense.
Are you coming to kill me?
Fuck off, cat. Go get killed. But that was the message in Star Trek. Makes it look, when you think of it, you're like, that's so silly. They're the exact same thing, but it's a fantastic mirror. And really good sci-fi shows do that. One show, science fiction show that does not do that is this garbage new Star Trek. This fucking Picard
They do it.
and Discovery.
They just don't do it as well as you like.
The old Star Trek would be holding up, would be going, hey, here's a mirror. Do you see?
Oh, yeah.
Little mirror. This
The
new
other
Star
one
Trek
is like
Discovery
a glance from afar.
is like, here's a mirror and a fucking frying pan to hit you over the head with. Go, look at the fucking mirror. Like, it's so bad, you know. But yeah, I love the original Star Trek. So yeah, back to your original question. That is something that I bought because I like to go back and revisit it every now and then. Sometimes I just like to revisit certain parts of it. And
what other 4K movies and TV shows do you buy so that you have it, so you don't have to worry about it finding where it's streaming or other means?
Stanley Kubrick movies. So any Stanley Kubrick movies that I can find, or especially when they're released, or same with Hitchcock movies, when they're released as 4K remasters or from 4K special editions, I'll buy those.
With bonuses.
Yep, because those are the movies that as my sons get older, and as any friends that I have who want to kind of learn the language of film and learn what are the best movies, those are the movies. So I want to make sure to be able to watch them at the best they can be.
I'll tell you, I'm just, like, I have done this before, but I'm trying to get another library started. And the first things I've gotten were the Jurassic Park, Jurassic World franchise. Because I love
Jurassic Park, yes. Jurassic World, no.
it. Ghostbusters franchise. Except I
Ghostbusters
haven't gotten
1,
the woman
yes.
one, but if
The woman one.
the woman one, so that people know what it is.
You should call it Ghostbusters 2016.
The crappy Melissa McCartney, whatever
Yes,
her
Melissa
name is,
McCartney. Kristen Lennon. Ringo
Scar.
Ringo McKinnon.
Oh my goodness.
Ringo Wing.
I got the Ghostbusters. I just got, and you're gonna love this.
Fast and Furious.
The 90s the 90s Godzilla.
What for?
I love it.
Oh my god.
With Matthew Broderick.
Yeah.
It's so good. There's things in it where you're like, this wouldn't fly now, because you get like the retard
Yep.
comment
Yep.
and saying stuff about women, and oh my goodness.
I
I
remember
love seeing that in movies.
I remember going and watching that movie in the theater when it came out opening weekend.
Were you like so disappointed?
Yeah, I was. And the
I remember the build up.
The shot that disappointed me the most is when, okay, Godzilla goes up to the Empire State Building, grabs it. I guess he's
King
hugging
Kong
it.
style.
I don't know what he's doing, but then he goes, "Rawr," and then runs away. I'm like,
They need that trailer moment.
but you're like, what the fuck is he doing? And then they're like, oh, it's sending some helicopters after him. So then the buildings are about 4 feet apart, and there are these helicopters like flying. I'm like, even for a dumb 1995 version of me, this is really dumb. And
It is a dumb movie, but it's so much fun.
to add icing on the cake, I promised a buddy of mine, like, dude, we'll go see it this weekend, because we both had like Friday night or Saturday night off. But I wanted to see it so badly that I convinced a girl I was dating at the time, come with me to the midnight showing of it. So I went and watched the midnight showing of it that came out like that Friday morning, 12 o'clock. And we watched it, and I was like, holy fuck, this sucks. And then I had to lie to Neil that I'd not seen it.
Oh, no.
And while we're watching it, I was like, oh, wow. Oh, look at this. It was terrible.
You had
It
to
was
remember
so
what you
bad.
reacted to before.
It was so bad. And I was so psyched. Because remember that fucking trailer where it shows the water and the dock starting to break apart?
yeah.
I was like, that is so cool. And then it comes out and you're like, oh, that was bad.
I watched the 4K. I started watching the 4K version today.
It must look awful, the CG.
It's not remastered or anything.
Ooh, that's
so the
bad.
CG does pop out.
Yeah.
It's still fun. It's still good. Like it's fun. It's not a like. It's
I
not
guess,
like the
yeah.
current Godzilla where you're like really into it. It's
I guess
very
you,
interesting.
yeah, you can turn off.
In this,
you
you're
really
just like,
need to turn off the
it's
logic
wrestling.
part of your brain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, any other examples? I gave you some of mine.
Yeah, for me, you and I have very different tastes. For me, it's,
I'm waiting for sliders to go on sale. I will only buy
is
these
there a
things
4K
if they're on
slider?
sale.
Is there a 4K slider?
I don't think so. No.
You should remaster it.
How much? Oh, if they did like a Friends type thing, you know how they did the Friends thing on Netflix where they remastered the shots?
Nope.
Well, they took all the 4:3 shots, took the original camera shots, and made them
It's called a negative.
sure, and made it into 16:9, and that's what they did with the current Friends stuff. I love that.
Does it look?
They did that with
remastered and good, though?
Seinfeld, I believe. So.
But I thought Seinfeld. Everybody said that the transfer was shitty when it came over to Netflix.
I thought it was good.
Well, I fucking didn't.
I love those transfers. They first,
Get him, Zelda.
from what I understand, they first did it with Buffy.
Oh.
And I loved it. I love that they did that. I want to see more things do that. Anything that was 4:3 before, give it. Don't zoom in 16:9.
Yeah,
Oh my
that's the
god!
worst one. Remember, there was a fucking period where everybody was deciding pan and scan was the way to go,
Oh.
where they would fucking shift the camera, or not shift the camera, but like,
After edit, yeah.
yeah, after it was like a bad fucking Photoshop edit. It was so terrible.
Yeah.
I had a a copy of.
You remember when you went to the store and you had to pick between the widescreen version and
And
the
the
4:3, and people were like on the like either side
Yep.
of the fence, and you were like, you get to see more 16:9, and then your
and
parents.
they're like, no, you don't. You've got the black at the top and the bottom.
Your parents would see the 16:9 thing come on the screen on TV, and then they would press zoom in on the TV, and I'd be like, no!
I saw the movie The Cell with Jennifer Lopez and Vince D'Onofrio. I saw it as pan and scan. It was so bad, dude. Like, the movie's not great anyway, but as pan and scan, it was painful.
So when you buy your 4K stuff that you want to keep, What do you buy it on?
Blu-ray.
Okay, so you get the physical copies.
When I want it, yeah.
Is there any digital that you buy?
The only digital I've ever bought, that's a word, was
I always get that one wrong.
Jurassic Park. When I bought the 3 DVD or Blu-ray thing,
But
I
it
bought
came with it.
Yeah, so I got those.
I got that too, and then the thing that it came on, like the service that came on, went kaputski, and they're like, okay, here's your YouTube codes. So I still have them on YouTube,
Nice.
but now I go back. The reason why I've switched, now I go back to those YouTube copies, and they're like $4.80.
Really?
Yeah,
Holy
they're
shit.
showing up $4.80 for me. I'm like,
DVD
that's
quality.
not what I paid for. It's shit. So that's why I've got them in 4K.
Bullish.
Now, I use Microsoft, even though it's not known for being the best service. It's like easy for me to use
For
for
like
my
OneDrive?
Xbox. For my
Yeah, I know, but it's called OneDrive, the Microsoft service.
no. This is their movies and television service.
Oh, okay.
So you can rent or you can buy, and then it stays on their service, and you can stream it, or you can download it to your computer, and they have sales every week. So that's why I've gotten Ghostbusters and all that.
Sponsored
I got
by
them on
Microsoft.
sale,
Sponsored by Microsoft.
and I have
Filming on Apple devices.
I have Game Pass. Which
No one cares. Oh, you know what? I did get Game Pass. I
did
forgot.
you?
Yeah.
That's awesome. I
Because,
got Game Pass
because my son wants to play. Not Minecraft. Oh, The Sims. So we got Game Pass that comes with the EA Pass.
yeah.
So, yeah.
Game Pass is awesome. You can find so much stuff for PC.
This is not a commercial for Microsoft.
Game Pass is like my favorite thing in the world. I have a Series S, and I love it.
I'm fucking rich.
I used to have a Series X.
I can afford a Series
Got
S.
rid of it to buy this piece of shit.
How
I don't
dare
I hate that
you.
I just did.
fucking smacked in them?
Oh, I'd be so mad.
And we did it on camera. What else are we talking about?
The other thing. Oh, I lost my.
See, this is what happens when he has a temper tantrum like a child.
Okay, I want to discuss the state of digital purchasing.
Closing statements on digital purchasing.
No, state of it's all over the place.
I don't purchase anything digital. Videos and stuff. I don't purchase anything. The only thing I purchase digitally is games through Steam.
I think the problem is that everyone is going to streaming. And like we have all these subscription services. So I've got Disney, I've got Netflix, I've got Paramount Plus, I've got Discovery. At some point, something is going to happen where we're going to merge them all together like a cable service for the internet.
I think yes,
Which we do have.
I think
through
that will
the
happen.
Internet companies.
And I think that's going to be Disney Plus that eventually buys everything. But
Prime's doing it.
yeah,
with some companies.
Maybe it'll come down to Amazon and Disney. But what I think is going to happen is for the connoisseurs of film, as these like 8K TVs come out and these higher quality TVs come out,
Does 8K matter?
I think to connoisseurs of like who want to watch movies like Russian Ark, like 2001, like these movies that have like imagine Lord of the Rings in 8K, like developed for 8K.
I don't think unless your whole wall is your TV.
But I
which
think
could end up being
you're going to find people that are when like 8K and 16K releases of things come to physical media, that might start being a market that is bigger on physical media than it is on digital media, because to be able to pump a
that'll
8K
kill-
or 16K is way too much for bandwidth. that
I
they
don't
can
think we
deliver.
need it.
There are some people that want it.
Do you
That's why
need
they're
a
making
bigger
fucking
TV than an 80-inch TV?
That's why they're making like 16K and like there's a TV from Samsung called The Wall, which is literally like 12 feet
Well,
high.
I was telling the wife a long time ago that that's where I believe everything's going. Your wall's going to be a digital panel, like it's all LED, like kind of what you see on
That's how it
wrestling.
is now for me.
On wrestling for their stages, it's all LED panels.
Well, that's what I'm going to have soon, sponsored by Microsoft.
I hope that'd be nice. Instead of a green screen, we could have an LED screen.
There we go. That's what we need. We need an LED behind us. If that fucking fly goes past your head, I'm going to smack it. It did. I just saw it go right
It's
by
just
your
an
head.
excuse.
I was going to crack it.
Next week, after next week's episode, no, next week
Hopefully we don't do two of them.
Stay tuned. I don't know where we place Jurassic World Dominion's review. We're going to do that next in chronological order of our tapings.
Oh.
Yeah. So we haven't done it yet. We're going to do it. It's going to be fun.
Or maybe we have done it yet,
And maybe you've seen it already. Maybe you just don't care.
If you have seen it, my apologies.
Next week's stuff that we're going to review.
Weeks.
The main thing we're going to review is a little movie called Rubicon. Have you heard of it?
No.
Should have brought the description. Rubicon.
Is it about a Rubik's Cube? And they have a con for Rubik's Cubes.
Hey Siri, look up Rubicon the film.
I like how you're going on about how
It's
great
not there.
fucking Microsoft is, and then you're talking to Siri on your iPad.
Oh, talk to them about Rubicon.
Rubicon is a movie about guys the guy that invented the Rubik's Cube, they start their own con, and it's really cheap, and then they actually go into a horror convention, and then the Wolfman comes to life and builds their Rubik's Cube.
So you were close. Following a catastrophe on Earth, the planet is covered in a toxic fog. The crew in the space station must decide whether to risk their lives to get home and search for survivors or stay safe in the station's algae symbiosis system.
Is there any Rubik's Cubes in it?
It's basically one of those I'm trapped on a space station because Earth's gone to crap movies.
Oh,
I like
exciting.
that kind of thing. So we're going to watch it. It's an IFC film.
Oh, great, even better.
Independent
is it
Film Council.
Done by Blumhouse. What is
That
the
wouldn't
mark?
be independent.
Yeah, that's a good point. The mark of fuck you, fly. I'll get you, you son of a bitch.
Anything that has Amber Heard is independent at this point.
Once I see Blumhouse show up at the start of a movie, I'm like, nah,
No,
not paying
because they're
attention.
next level now. They're what's fudge.
Even now, I'm like, I'm not paying attention. I saw recently.
What's another horror production company that not Magnet's one? Magnet used to be small, and now they've grown.
I don't know.
They do a lot
All I
of
know is when I see
sci-fi
Blumhouse,
and
I'm like,
horror
not
movies.
interested.
There was one that did a lot of them before that was really small, and is now a big time production company.
Wasn't the company that made? Oh no, Paranormal Activity was. Or was it a little team that did Saw? I could have sworn it was a little tiny team that did Saw. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I don't remember.
But like these companies that you're thinking of that are small are actually now viable things.
The point is,
They're not independent anymore.
Rubik's Cube, the movie,
Rubicon.
is going to be horrifying.
I just want to see what your opinion of it is.
It's going to be low.
Probably. Probably. We're also going to... I lost it.
It's right there.
We're also going to discuss
Christ.
Stranger Things Volume 2.
Yay.
Yeah.
See, I'll be down to actually discuss that. That'll be interesting.
Are you
And
actually going to watch it?
why the fuck wouldn't I watch it
You
when
have-
I've watched everything up to this?
Have you watched the
Yes!
Volume 1? All of it?
Yes.
I thought you only watched the first episode. You
He doesn't
caught
pay
up.
attention
Ah,
because he doesn't listen.
I just don't want to get my opinion out. And that's it.
You want my opinion aborted.
I need your opinion so I don't seem egotistical on the show. and
Highfalutin.
and more.
And more.
We'll talk about the TV series that we're currently watching, as we did today.
Help me.
Go away. Isn't everybody glad that their kids are home from school?
Watch and complain about your kids. .com.
Can you taste it? Oh no,
No,
that's
it's-
canceled. Watch and taste this.com.
We aborted that show.